Thesis 2, Righteousness equals Jesus. We have no righteousness apart from Him. My major professor in college opened the class discussion during the first class period of the semester by asking us for a definition of righteousness. We offered many definitions. Righteousness is right doing. Righteousness is conformity to the law of God. Righteousness is holiness. And perhaps even better, righteousness is love. Not only did class members give these definitions, but you can find such definitions in the inspired commentary. But after the professor had frustrated us into thinking of every possible definition, he finally brought us to the conclusion that the best, most complete definition for righteousness is Jesus. All other definitions are inadequate. If, for instance, righteousness is defined as right doing, then the only thing you would need to be righteous would be, what? To do what is right. You would have no need for a savior if righteousness were based on behavior alone. But righteousness is not an entity in itself. It is not something that mankind can produce in any way. We are bankrupt of righteousness. Isaiah says, all our righteousnesses are as filthy rags. Isaiah 64 verse 6. Not only are we unable to produce righteousness, but we are also incapable of stockpiling it. It isn't something we can obtain or retain apart from Jesus. Therefore, we can best define righteousness as a person. So long as we have Jesus, we have righteousness. But without Him, we have no hope for righteousness. Sinful man can find hope and righteousness only in God, and no human being is righteous any longer than he has faith in God and maintains a vital connection with Him. Testimonies to Ministers, page 367. You might try it in the form of an equation. If Jesus equals righteousness and righteousness equals Jesus, then the only way we can obtain righteousness is to get with Jesus and stay with Him. So we might say that mankind plus Jesus equals righteousness. I was discussing this with a group of college students one day when a young man in the back row got this strange look on his face. He raised his hand and said, "But if Jesus equals righteousness all by Himself, and if mankind plus Jesus equals righteousness, then mankind equals nothing." And he spoke as if I had just done a great injustice to the human race. But isn't it the dilemma of mankind that we have no righteousness of our own? We are worth everything in the eyes of heaven. Jesus on the cross proved the worth of the human soul. But when it comes to producing righteousness, we are helpless. We cannot produce it. We have none. Charles T. Everson told the story of a woman who went shopping for material to make a new dress. She fingered the fabric, examined the weave, admired the colors and patterns, until she finally found one bolt of cloth that seemed to be what she wanted. As she still hesitated, wanting to make sure of her choice, the proprietor of the store approached and said, "I've noticed you looking at that material, and it just so happens that that particular piece has been made up into a dress. Perhaps you didn't notice it as you came in." So they went together to the display window in the front of the store, and the woman exclaimed, "It's beautiful. It's exactly what I want. It was lovely material, but now that I see it made up into a dress, I'm completely convinced." And she purchased the material. That's how it is with God's law. We can admire its principles, we can agree with its precepts, but before we can truly appreciate and accept it, we must see it made up into a life, the life of Jesus. When we see Him, our hearts are one, and when we receive Him, we receive His righteousness as well.